In this video, we're going to be talking about how I went from being just a Spanish teacher to being now a Spanish teacher and an author. So, I'm a Spanish teacher with Florida Virtual School, and I have started writing in 2019. And here are some of my books published. I have some other books on contract. My website is annafiction.com, where you can learn more about me and about my books and my journey. So today we're going to be talking about tips and resources for teachers who wants to be traditionally published. And I'm talking mostly about picture books, but I think like those tips are good not only for picture books, for all kind of books, and also some tips will be very useful for the ones who wants to self-publish. So it is very tough to become a published author. You have to be very resilient and have lots of patience because you're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. But don't quit. So the first step is to learn. Don't rush. Don't think like, okay, I can write and I'm just gonna publish a book or I'm gonna send to agents. Take your time to learn. That's very important. So, join SCBWI. The Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators have a lot of resources for you to look, and I'm also going to be talking about that when we talk about critique groups. They have webinars, they have conference and critiques, and many, many other resources. Here are some of the websites. We'll be sharing this presentation at the end, a link for you to be able to click and visit those links. But the main ones that I got here is the Josh Funk's Guide to Writing Picture Books. That's the first one I use, has very basic things that you need to know when you start your writing career. I have also Kidlit 411. They have all kinds of resources. They have like editors, how to write picture book, chapter books, middle grade, and all kinds of resources that you might need. You're gonna find that. Have here also one from Harold Underdown. He is an editor, very well known, and he gives many tips. And in this, here we say the 10 best websites for children books writer. So you'll be able to see many of these resources. There are many more, but I collected a few for you. Some of the books I read when I started my writing career were those books, writing picture books, writing Irresistible Kidlet, Pixar, and the publishing children's book, The Complete Idiot Guide. There are many others, but you can start with this. I really love Pixar storytelling. It was one of my favorites. Here are some of the courses you can take. So you have Make Picture Book Magic. I took a course with Children's Book Academy and I sold my If Your Babysitter is a Bruja during this course. Storyteller Academy, I also was a member, and there you can have also a community, and they have two memberships. You can do like the full membership or you can do the self-paced membership. I did the self-paced. Writing Barn, I taught classes and I took a lot of classes. Writing Barn, very professional, very good classes. And Pixar is a free course, and it is through Khan Academy. Rosie Pova has some webinars and some very good tips. And this one where my face is, you cannot see, is the Institute for Children's Writers, Institute for Writers. That is, you can take a lot of courses or you can even do like have a full program. And let's now talk about community. Community is very important. It is important that you create a critique group. Okay, don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do a critique group with my family, my friends, my students." No, that won't work. You need people who are studying the craft, who knows more about the craft, and has some experience that can help you. So if you become a member of SCBWI, you can go to your regional page, and there you can request to join a critique group, and they will help you with that. And this Facebook, the Kid Lit 411, the same page that I said, there are tons of resources for writers. On this Facebook, you can also do the Kidlit 411 manuscript swap. And in there, you're going to find a community of writers, and they can help you anytime you need help. If I need an idea, I always go there and said, "Oh, I need an idea for a game like this." So it's very helpful. And the Kidlit 411 manuscript swap is a good way for you to start doing critique things like you can swap manuscripts, and if you like their style of critique and their manuscript, you can even create your own critique group. You can say, oh, do you want to join me in a critique group? That's how I did my critique group. Storyteller Academy. You, as I said, you can take courses, but you also there is a community where you can place your manuscripts and questions in a forum. And 12 by 12 by Julie, I extremely recommend you have to join. I think by February of each year, and it's really good because you have the community, you have a lot of webinars and resources there too. And Inked Voices is the same thing, is a community of writers, and you can join pop-up critique groups, plus webinars and workshops with agents and editors. So excellent, excellent. Of course, you must read a lot. Get your library card and put all your books on hold and try to read at least 10 picture books per day. Try to read some of the new books. Type your favorite ones that will help you get the flow of the picture book. And, try to analyze what you like, what you dislike about these books. Paid critiques with editors or authors or professional people, are they a waste or investment? Well, it's very important that you choose wisely. If you want to do a paid critique, choose someone who has a record, so someone who is either was an editor with a publisher, or someone distinguished, recognizable, or someone who's an author with published books. So I did a lot of critiques with Lynn Marie, and she's very affordable. I really enjoy her Zoom critiques, especially where you can talk to her and she gives you ideas, and she also teaches you a lot because when she's critiquing, she'll say, oh, remember in picture books, you do like this, in picture books, and that is very helpful. That was very, very helpful for me. Justin Cullen has a lot of books. Well, he has two books published, but he has, I think, three more coming out, all with big publishers. So I would check his editorial service. I normally swap manuscripts with him, and he is very, very helpful too. Another thing that you can look for are some mentorships. Las Musas has mentorship. We have a mentorship with PB Rising Stars. I'm one of the mentors now. We Need Diverse Books is also one of them, and some many other ones. So you can look at those and look for more. Of course, write, write, and write, and don't get stuck on one story. Okay, so write one story, let that story rest, because you're going to love the story one day, hate the next day, and it's normal. Let it rest, and then, like after a week, 2 weeks, or even a month, you're going to look at the story with fresh eyes, and you'll be able to see things you didn't see before. And that's why you don't get stuck on one story. So you write one story, let it rest, then go write your next story, because the more you write, the better you get. And of course, the more you write, the more variety you have. So when you have to find an agent, for example, you need to have at least three polished manuscripts. So make sure you keep writing. If somebody give you a feedback, you might be defensive and say, no, I don't think so because of this. I used to do that all the time. Just let it sink in. And sometimes try it. Sometimes, you can make a copy and don't delete the ones you did, but you make a copy and try it again and try, maybe, let me try this, let me try that. For example, if your babysitter is a bruja, an editor told me, why don't you melt the bruja at the end? I had melting the bruja in the beginning. And I said, Nah, I don't think so. But I tried and I really love it. So always be flexible and try. And don't let the truth get into the way of a good story. So the same one, if your babysitter is a bruja, was about when my daughter calls me a bruja, but I changed it to be a babysitter. And I was not me, okay? You can read the story of that in my on my website. But I decided to add the Halloween aspect. I decided to add the babysitter, not the mom. And of course, the girl was very sassy. My daughter was sassy, but I think she was a little sassier. The most important thing, don't quit. It is a tough journey, but don't quit. And even after you get published, it's still pretty tough. There are days like that you get some passes and you were expecting and you were so hopeful. So don't quit. And these slides are available on my website, anafiction.com. You're gonna see there's a page there. It's called Activities and Guides. Muchas gracias. And if you want to contact me, if you have questions and you want to contact me, also go to anafiction.com and you have a contact page. And I'm open to school visits, library visits, in person or virtually. Gracias.